Welcome back to Primetime News and a special welcome once again to our viewers on onespotmedia.com. Up first this evening, there's been yet another shakeup in the Andrew Holness-led government. J.C. Hutchinson, who'd been at the center of a land transfer arrangement, has been sacked as minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Agriculture. In the meantime, Mr. Hutchinson has issued an apology. J.C. Hutchinson had been on the defensive all week.
To do with it.
No, except you did because you were initially involved in having the SCJ determine that this group should get the land.
But by Friday, an about turn. He issued a public apology for what he said were errors of judgment in relation to land transactions involving the Holland estate in St. Elizabeth. Of note, the apology contained much of what he'd been arguing, like the fact that the lands were being overtaken by squatters and stray animals, and so decisive action had to be taken to preserve the estate. He said he felt that the proper course of having Agro Investment Corporation handle the transaction to small farmers would have been ineffective. Mr. Hutchinson, however, admitted he was wrong and the procedure he used was flawed. Now, the apology came in the wake of Mr. Hutchinson being reassigned. A release from the Office of the Prime Minister read that with immediate effect, he will be relieved of the responsibilities he held in the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries. Leslie Campbell has been reassigned minister without portfolio in the ministry. As for Mr. Hutchinson, he's now at the office of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he met with him where the details of the land transaction were discussed. Consultations were also held with Agriculture Minister Audley Shaw and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry Dermot Spence. According to Mr. Holness, while he is satisfied with Mr. Hutchinson's intent to make former sugar lands available to small farmers, there were clear breaches of established procedures. The Prime Minister has also instructed that Holland estate lands should be turned over to the Agricultural Investment Corporation. Steps, he adds, should be taken to terminate any arrangement that allows for non-farm commercial operations on the lands, and that future commercial opportunities should be advertised and tendered. The SCJ Holdings has also been instructed to cease all land transactions in progress, including divestments and leases, and to provide a historical listing of all land transactions over the last decade. The Prime Minister also wants Minister Audley Shaw to review the operation and governance of RADA. This, he says, is to ensure there are no other undisclosed connected party arrangements in the implementation of any of its programs. Where such relationships are discovered, he's demanded that the necessary action be taken to ensure they are removed.